You will not believe what just went down in Hollywood this week. Emotions ran high, fans are shocked, and the internet is completely divided after a series of jaw-dropping events involving some of the biggest names in entertainment. It all started when Timothée Chalamet, known for his brooding charm and intense interviews, went on what insiders are calling a bizarre rant during a supposedly private press event. Sources claim he stormed out mid-interview, muttering cryptic accusations that left reporters stunned and fans scrambling to decode what he really meant. Meanwhile, over in the pop world, J.Lo is reportedly exhausted beyond belief as tension surrounding her latest project escalates behind the scenes, leaving friends whispering about secret clashes with her team and even some mysterious family drama. And if that wasn't enough, Hollywood's golden boys Austin Butler and Jacob Elordi reportedly had the most awkward meetup of the year, with onlookers describing a scene that was equal parts tense and hilariously uncomfortable. Rumors are flying, theories are exploding on social media, and insiders say we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. In this video, we're diving deep into every shocking detail, secret betrayal, and explosive argument that has fans talking nonstop, so buckle up. Because Hollywood drama has officially reached a new level of chaos. It all began on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning in Los Angeles, but insiders are claiming that the calm facade was shattered almost immediately when Timothée Chalamet arrived at a small, exclusive press event for a new indie film. According to sources, Timothée seemed unusually agitated, pacing the hallway before the cameras even started rolling. Fans who happened to catch glimpses through social media reported that his expressions were beyond tense, a mix of frustration, confusion, and something almost unidentifiable, leaving them speculating about the cause. The first sign of trouble appeared during a brief interview segment. A reporter asked him a simple question about his preparation for the role, and what should have been a typical, charming response turned into something entirely unexpected. Timothée, apparently under immense stress, began speaking in a stream of consciousness that made almost no sense, referencing vague personal betrayals, a system that doesn't understand him, and even cryptically mentioning people who wear masks but talk behind backs. The room went silent. Whispers rippled through the press circle, and the cameras kept rolling as everyone tried to make sense of what was happening. Fans online immediately exploded with theories. Some suggested he was under pressure from studio conflicts, while others feared personal drama was spilling into the public eye. It was, by all accounts, a shocking moment. But the drama didn't stop there. After the brief but intense rant, Timothée reportedly stormed out of the press room, leaving behind microphones, cameras, and a room full of stunned reporters. According to an insider who claims to have witnessed the exit, he muttered something along the lines of, "You all only see what you want, none of this is real." While security guided him out, social media was already ablaze. Screenshots of his words, fans' shocked reactions, and even memes began circulating within minutes. The energy around Timothée's outburst was palpable, and for once, it seemed the Hollywood star had truly exposed a raw, unfiltered side of himself. Industry insiders, however, hinted at a deeper layer. One source claimed that a dispute with a co-star over the direction of the film might have sparked his meltdown. Another suggested tension with his management team had been building for months. Either way, emotions were running high, and the narrative was only beginning to unfold. Meanwhile, across town in the glitzier parts of Hollywood, J.Lo was reportedly reaching her breaking point. Sources say she had been working tirelessly on multiple projects at once, from a new music video to a high-profile film shoot, and even a rumored secret collaboration that no one had been allowed to confirm. Friends described her as exhausted beyond belief, often taking calls from her team late into the night and showing signs of frustration that were usually hidden behind her signature composed smile. One insider revealed a private moment where J.Lo, alone in her hotel suite, reportedly muttered to herself, "How much more can anyone do?" This small but telling comment quickly became viral on social media, with fans speculating that J.Lo might be facing burnout or hidden conflicts with her team. The story grew even more intriguing when another source hinted that her family was involved in behind-the-scenes tensions, with whispers of disagreements over personal and professional boundaries. The combination of relentless work pressure and private family disputes created a perfect storm of drama that fans couldn't get enough of. As Timothee's rant and Jlo's exhaustion dominated headlines, a seemingly unrelated but equally shocking event unfolded: the awkward meetup of Butler and Elordi. These two Hollywood heartthrobs, often praised for their charm and confidence, were reportedly seen in a quiet Los Angeles cafe, but what happened inside stunned onlookers. Sources say the initial meeting began with polite smiles and cautious conversation, but quickly devolved into uncomfortable silences, tense glances, and a few awkward attempts at humor that fell flat. A witness claimed that at one point, Austin accidentally spilled coffee on the table, and Jacob responded with a sarcastic, smooth move, which only intensified the tension. Fans who later saw photos of the meeting couldn't believe the body language: crossed arms, rigid postures, and smiles that didn't quite reach the eyes. Rumors immediately spread that the awkwardness stemmed from a hidden rivalry over recent roles, secret dating gossip, or perhaps even an old dispute that neither of them wanted to publicly acknowledge. Hollywood insiders speculated that this encounter might signal the beginning of a very public feud, though others suggested it was simply a private disagreement that got out of hand. Amid all this chaos, social media was erupting like never before. Hashtags like #Timothee, #JloExhausted, and #ButlerElordiAwkward began trending simultaneously, and fans were desperate to piece together how all these stories might be connected. Conspiracy theories emerged suggesting that Timothee's public breakdown was linked to Jlo's stress, that Austin and Jacob were somehow involved in the same web of secrets, or even that a hidden third party was manipulating these events behind the scenes. Every celebrity account, every fan forum, and every gossip column seemed to contribute a new layer to the unfolding drama. One fan tweeted, "Timothee is speaking for all of us who are tired of Hollywood fakeness," while another commented, "Jlo deserves a medal just for surviving this week." Emotions ran high, and the family dynamics, professional rivalries, and secret tensions all combined to create a narrative that was as complex as it was captivating. Then came a twist that no one saw coming. During what was supposed to be a private phone call, a source claimed that Timothee accidentally left his microphone on during a discussion with his manager. What was heard was nothing short of explosive. Allegedly, Timothee accused someone close to him of leaking information to the press, of pretending to be a friend while sabotaging everything, and even hinted at a betrayal that would shake the industry. Fans went wild trying to decode who he meant. Some immediately suspected a co-star, others pointed fingers at his management, and a few even suggested that Jlo or her team might be connected, despite no real evidence. Hollywood insiders described the leak as the perfect storm that pushed Timothee over the edge at the press event, creating a ripple effect that would touch every major player in the story. Meanwhile, Jlo reportedly heard about the leak through her own network and became even more exhausted, fearing that someone in her inner circle was not on her side. The tension between public image and private reality was reaching a fever pitch, and the stakes were higher than ever. As the City of Angels buzzed with speculation, insiders revealed that Timothée Chalamet was not planning a quiet retreat after all. Sources claimed that instead of calming down, he was meeting with a small circle of friends and confidants in a dimly lit, private loft in downtown Los Angeles. Eyewitnesses say the mood was tense, with Timothee pacing back and forth, gesturing wildly as he recounted the events of the morning. "I can't believe they're doing this to me," he allegedly exclaimed, his voice trembling with frustration. Friends reportedly tried to calm him down, reminding him that the public had already witnessed enough, but Timothee was determined to set the record straight, though no one seemed entirely sure what that meant. Rumors swirled that the outburst was only the tip of a much larger conflict, with some insiders hinting at a secret dispute over an upcoming film role and even an alleged betrayal by a close family member. Meanwhile, Jlo's exhaustion was reaching a breaking point. According to sources, she had just returned from a grueling rehearsal for a high-profile award show, only to receive troubling news from her team about leaking photos, scheduling conflicts, and yet another unexpected issue with a music video shoot. Friends described her as slumping into her chair, rubbing her temples, and muttering, "I can't do everything myself anymore." The family was reportedly divided as well. Her children were caught in the middle of conflicting schedules. And there were whispers that a heated argument erupted with her mother, who allegedly suggested that Jlo was taking on too much for attention. The scene painted a picture of someone simultaneously adored by millions and weighed down by immense pressure, a dichotomy that fans found both relatable and heartbreaking. Back at the downtown loft, Timothee's friends allegedly tried to mediate between him and an unseen party who was supposedly responsible for his public meltdown. One friend reportedly said, "You need to calm down before this blows up even more," to which Timothee responded, "Calm down? No one listens. I've been patient for months, and now they're making me look like a joke." Tensions reportedly escalated further when one friend suggested that the incident could actually be turned into a publicity advantage. Timothee allegedly snapped, "This isn't about publicity. It's about truth." Sources say the conversation became heated, with accusations flying and tears reportedly shed as emotions ran high. The inner circle was left in shock, unsure whether to continue supporting him or encourage him to step back. At the same time, Austin Butler and Jacob Elordi's awkward meetup took on an entirely new dimension. Sources claimed that after leaving the cafe, the two were spotted in separate cars following each other around Hollywood Hills. The sighting sent fans into a frenzy, speculating about a potential confrontation. One insider hinted that the two had exchanged a flurry of tense text messages before the meeting, which may have fueled the awkwardness. Paparazzi reportedly captured moments of both actors glancing nervously out of car windows, neither willing to make the first move. Speculation ran wild. Were they competing for the same role, dealing with overlapping romantic rumors, or just navigating a complex web of personal grudges? Friends close to both actors described them as emotionally volatile, suggesting that the tension could escalate at any moment. Amid the chaos, social media erupted once again, this time with conflicting narratives. Fans posted screenshots claiming they had overheard snippets of Timothee's private conversations, while others shared images of Jlo collapsing in rehearsals, each post sparking thousands of comments. Hashtags like #TimotheeMeltdown and #JloBurnout began trending simultaneously, and conspiracy theories flourished. Some fans suggested a direct connection between Timothee's rant and Jlo's exhaustion, speculating that both were victims of a shadow figure manipulating Hollywood events behind the scenes. Others claimed that Austin and Jacob's awkward interaction was somehow tied to both incidents, hinting at secret rivalries, old feuds, or even hidden romantic triangles. The frenzy created an online ecosystem where truth, rumor, and speculation blended seamlessly, leaving fans desperate for clarity. Just when it seemed the drama couldn't intensify further, an unexpected twist emerged. Sources revealed that Timothee, Jlo, Austin, and Jacob were all unknowingly connected through a mutual contact in the industry. This individual, described as mysteriously influential, allegedly had a hand in scheduling, leaks, and even stirring tension between the stars. Insiders claimed that Timothee had caught wind of the manipulation and confronted the contact during a secret meeting, reportedly saying, "You think you can control us, but this ends now." Meanwhile, Jlo reportedly discovered that the same individual had been indirectly responsible for her mounting stress and her team's constant scrambling. Emotions reportedly ran even higher when Austin and Jacob realized that their awkward meeting might have been orchestrated, leaving both feeling betrayed and humiliated. Hollywood sources described the unfolding web as like watching a high-stakes chess game where everyone thinks they're a player, but only one person moves the pieces. Fans were particularly captivated by a leaked snippet of Timothee's private conversation, which allegedly included the line, "I won't be silenced anymore. Not by anyone." Social media users quickly spun this into dozens of memes, threads, and speculative posts. Meanwhile, Jlo's exhaustion was increasingly visible, with reports of her leaving rehearsals early, showing irritation at minor issues, and even snapping at her assistant over trivial matters. Friends claimed this was highly uncharacteristic behavior, suggesting that she was pushed to her limits by a combination of professional obligations and personal frustrations. The public was riveted, caught between admiration for her resilience and concern for her well-being. During this time, a particularly dramatic encounter occurred between Butler and Jacob Elordi. Sources claimed that after realizing the potential manipulation, the two actors were forced to share a private room at a Hollywood industry gala. Tensions reportedly ran so high that onlookers described a verbal sparring match that left both visibly flushed. One witness allegedly overheard Austin mutter, "I didn't come here to be played," while Jacob responded, "Maybe you should pay more attention next time." The brief interaction, though private, leaked almost immediately, adding yet another layer to the ongoing chaos. Fans flooded social media with reactions, debating everything from who was in the wrong to whether the two would eventually reconcile or erupt into a full-blown feud that could dominate headlines for months. By this point, the story had taken on a life of its own. News outlets scrambled to piece together timelines, while entertainment bloggers speculated on potential consequences. Some claimed that Timothee's bizarre rant could jeopardize his reputation, while others suggested it might cement him as Hollywood's most unpredictable and authentic star. Jlo's exhaustion was framed as a dramatic, humanizing moment, making fans sympathize with her struggles while also critiquing the pressures of fame. Austin and Jacob became the center of endless speculation, with theories ranging from romantic entanglements to career sabotage. Each thread seemed to feed into the next, creating a tangled narrative that left even seasoned Hollywood watchers bewildered. As night fell over Los Angeles, insiders revealed a final twist that would set the stage for the next chapter of drama. Apparently, Timothee was spotted entering a high-security building with his manager and a few trusted allies, reportedly to confront the mysterious industry contact in person. Meanwhile, Jlo was said to be reviewing security footage at her villa, trying to track leaks and identify the source of her mounting stress. Austin and Jacob, still tense, were reportedly attending separate after-parties, avoiding eye contact with mutual acquaintances while quietly plotting their next moves. Hollywood watchers described the city as a powder keg of tension, waiting for the smallest spark to ignite the next scandal. The tension in Hollywood reached unprecedented levels the next morning. Insiders reported that Timothée Chalamet's meeting with the mysterious industry contact had escalated into a heated confrontation. Eyewitnesses claimed that Timothée arrived with an entourage of trusted allies, while the contact appeared calm, almost smug, as if expecting the outburst. According to sources, Timothy's voice shook as he accused the contact of manipulating his career, leaking private information and orchestrating chaos with the express purpose of undermining him. "I trusted you," he allegedly shouted, slamming his hand against the table, "and you've been playing me from the start." The contact reportedly remained composed, responding with a chilling, "Sometimes the game is bigger than the players," which only fueled Timothy's anger. Friends who were present described the scene as electric, with emotions running so high that the entire loft seemed to vibrate with tension. Meanwhile, Jlo's situation took a dramatic turn. Sources claim that after reviewing the security footage, she discovered that the leaks contributing to her exhaustion were coming from within her own team. According to insiders, Jlo confronted her assistant and manager in a private meeting, reportedly saying, "I trusted you, and this is how you repay me." The room allegedly fell silent as her words hung in the air. Friends described Jlo's usual composure as cracking for the first time in public memory, with frustration and heartbreak clearly visible. Rumors suggested that this confrontation may have been the catalyst for a temporary reshuffling of her team, with some members allegedly shown the door as a result. Fans online immediately noticed her posts and videos that day carried a sharper edge, speculating that Jlo was now fighting both publicly and privately to regain control of her life and career. As if things weren't intense enough, Butler and Jacob Elordi reportedly found themselves in another high-stakes situation. Insiders claimed that the two actors were booked to attend a charity gala on the same evening, and sources hint that both were aware of each other's attendance, but were forbidden to speak by handlers trying to prevent a public meltdown. However, according to eyewitnesses, the tension was palpable. One source said, "You could feel the electricity in the room. It was almost unbearable." Rumors suggest that their mutual acquaintance, the same contact who had manipulated Timothee, may have orchestrated this encounter as a form of psychological chess, forcing both actors into uncomfortable proximity. Fans immediately speculated on social media that the awkward meetup from the cafe was only the beginning of a much larger showdown, and the anticipation of what would happen next sent the internet into a frenzy. The day took an even more dramatic twist when Timothee allegedly received an unexpected phone call from Jlo herself. Sources claim she reached out in a moment of solidarity, reportedly saying, "We're both being pushed to the edge. Maybe we can figure this out together." The conversation, according to insiders, was filled with tension, mutual frustration, and whispered accusations that hinted at overlapping issues in Hollywood's inner circles. Some reports suggest that Timothee admitted he had been feeling isolated and targeted, while Jlo allegedly confessed that the leaks and internal drama had left her emotionally drained and questioning whom she could trust. The revelation of their private conversation quickly made rounds online, further fueling the frenzy as fans speculated about a possible alliance, secret collaboration, or even the start of a dramatic public statement from both stars. The evening of the gala arrived, and the atmosphere was reportedly charged. Insiders claimed that Butler arrived first, maintaining a composed exterior, though a few sharp-eyed paparazzi noticed tense jawlines and restless glances. Elordi arrived shortly afterward, reportedly walking past Austin with a brief nod, though both were clearly aware of the other's presence. According to sources, the gala organizers attempted to seat them at separate tables, but a last-minute change in seating arrangements brought them into proximity. Whispers among attendees suggested that both actors were on edge, eyeing each other warily while trying to maintain decorum. At one point, sources claim, a subtle but unmistakable exchange occurred. Austin allegedly leaned slightly toward Jacob, muttering, "You're not making this easy," while Jacob reportedly responded under his breath, "Maybe you should pay more attention next time." The tension was palpable, leaving attendees and staff struggling to maintain normalcy while sensing that something monumental was about to happen. Timothee, during this same evening, was reportedly in a private suite nearby, still seething from the morning confrontation. Sources claimed that his team attempted to calm him, reminding him that public behavior could affect his image and career trajectory. Timothee allegedly snapped, "I'm done pretending everything is fine. They've manipulated, leaked, and betrayed for too long." The emotions ran so high that friends described a brief shouting match with his manager, involving accusations of disloyalty and frustration over poor handling of his media image. Meanwhile, Jlo was reportedly attending a rehearsal for her upcoming award show, still visibly tense and emotional from her earlier confrontations with her team. Insiders claim that her movements were sharp, her gestures precise, but her expressions betrayed exhaustion and lingering anger. Fans watching social media snippets speculated that the two stars were simultaneously teetering on the edge of breaking down and breaking free, creating a narrative that was both dramatic and deeply human. In the midst of this swirling chaos, rumors began circulating about a potential secret mediator who might be intervening behind the scenes. Sources claimed that an unknown figure, possibly a longtime industry insider, was quietly working to de-escalate tensions between Timothee, Jlo, Austin, and Jacob. Whispers suggested that this person had connections to all four, knew the inner workings of their teams, and might be orchestrating a plan to bring the drama to a controlled conclusion. However, the very existence of this mediator was unconfirmed, leading to rampant speculation online. Fans debated endlessly. Was this person a hero trying to prevent disaster, a puppet master manipulating events for entertainment, or something far more sinister? Every theory seemed plausible, keeping social media engagement sky-high and fueling an almost cinematic sense of suspense. By the end of the evening, Multiple insiders claimed that private phone calls, secret meetings, and whispered confrontations had set the stage for an explosive revelation. Timothee was reportedly preparing a statement that would not only address his public rant, but also reveal the hidden betrayals he had endured. Jlo, exhausted but resolute, was allegedly drafting her own response, a mixture of personal truth and professional fortitude that insiders said would shock even her most loyal fans. Austin and Jacob were rumored to be preparing for an awkward, but potentially career-defining confrontation, with both sides aware that their next public interaction could dominate headlines. Social media, already ablaze, seemed to anticipate the inevitable, with hashtags like #TimotheeTruth, #JloReveal, and #Butler Elordi controversy trending simultaneously. As the night drew to a close, insiders described a brief moment of eerie calm. Timothee reportedly stood alone on a balcony, overlooking the city, muttering, "It ends tonight." Jlo, somewhere nearby, allegedly stared at her reflection in a mirror, whispering, "I have to be stronger than this." Austin and Jacob were said to be in separate rooms at the gala venue, both staring at the same city lights, silently calculating their next move. Hollywood watchers described the scene as a perfect storm waiting to break, with every player teetering on the edge of revelation, confrontation, and emotional overload. Fans across the world were glued to every post, video, and story, anticipating that the next chapter of drama would bring secrets to light, alliances to shift, and perhaps a scandal that would redefine how Hollywood handled celebrity conflicts. The night ended with one final twist that no one saw coming. Insiders claimed that a brief video clip of Timothee leaving the loft earlier in the evening was accidentally posted online. In it, he appeared contemplative, almost haunted, and seemed to glance knowingly toward the camera before disappearing into a waiting car. The clip immediately went viral, with fans analyzing every expression, gesture, and background detail. Some speculated it was a hint at a future revelation. Others claimed it was a deliberate signal aimed at Jlo, Austin, and Jacob. The speculation was endless, the engagement through the roof, and the stage was set for a dramatic fourth part, where secrets would collide, emotions would explode, and Hollywood drama would reach an unprecedented climax. As the city of Los Angeles slept, insiders revealed that the next day would prove to be the most chaotic yet. Timothée Chalamet reportedly began the morning with a private recording session in a secluded studio, intending to release a statement addressing the mysterious leaks, his bizarre rant, and the industry manipulation that had pushed him to the edge. Sources claimed that the atmosphere in the studio was electric, with Timothee pacing back and forth, muttering under his breath, and occasionally stopping to stare into the camera lens as if confronting the entire world. Friends who were present described the moment as surreal, with emotions running high and tensions almost tangible in the air. Allegedly, Timothee shouted, "They think they can control the story, but the story is mine to tell," before pausing dramatically to gather himself. Insiders claimed that even those close to him were left stunned, unsure whether what they were witnessing was genius, madness, or a dangerous mix of both. Meanwhile, Jlo was reportedly preparing for a high-stakes meeting with her management team and select family members. Sources said she arrived visibly tense, yet determined to assert control over her career and personal life. Insiders described a confrontation that lasted hours, during which Jlo allegedly laid bare the frustrations, betrayals, and exhaustion she had endured. Reportedly, she exclaimed, "I have given everything, and yet some of you think my loyalty is a weakness." "It ends today." Friends present said the room went silent as the gravity of her words sank in, and even her team, typically composed and professional, appeared shaken. Rumors hinted that this meeting resulted in a significant shakeup within her inner circle, with certain individuals quietly reassigned or removed altogether. Fans online were captivated, debating whether this bold move would ultimately strengthen Jlo's position or create a ripple effect of new conflicts. At the same time, Austin Butler and Jacob Elordi were finally cornered into a public confrontation at an industry brunch that insiders had been buzzing about for days. Eyewitnesses claimed that the moment was almost cinematic, with both actors arriving at the same venue, forcing handlers to let them face each other to prevent a scene elsewhere. According to sources, Austin leaned in with a mixture of irritation and curiosity, whispering, "So, this is how it comes down, huh?" Jacob, maintaining his trademark calm but with a glint of tension in his eyes, reportedly responded, "I guess some things can't be avoided." The interaction, though brief, was described as charged, with unspoken accusations, old grudges, and a mutual understanding that every move they made would be scrutinized by fans and media alike. Some insiders even hinted at a subtle apology exchanged, though it was unclear whether it signaled reconciliation or merely a temporary truce. As all these threads converged, social media erupted with speculation, theories, and fan reactions that reached record levels. Hashtags like #Timothee reveal, #JlaPower, and #Butler Elordi confrontation dominated trending lists, while countless memes, reaction videos, and commentary posts flooded platforms simultaneously. Some fans speculated that Timothee and Jlo might join forces in a public response to the industry manipulation, while others debated whether Austin and Jacob's awkward meeting would spiral into a full-blown feud. Conspiracy theories also flourished, claiming that the mysterious industry contact was orchestrating every move to generate headlines and tension for personal gain. The frenzy created an almost cinematic atmosphere, as if fans were witnessing a scripted reality show rather than the chaotic convergence of real celebrity drama. Timothee, according to insiders, took a bold step mid-morning. He released a cryptic social media post that immediately went viral. The post, a short video snippet, showed him in the recording studio with a voiceover saying, "Truth has a way of coming out, whether you want it to or not." Fans immediately dissected every frame, analyzing his expressions, the background objects, and even subtle hand gestures. Within minutes, the post was shared across every platform, with commentators speculating that it signaled a major upcoming revelation. Insiders suggested that Timothee was preparing to expose not only professional manipulation, but also personal betrayals from unexpected sources, leaving fans desperate for more details and hungry for the next development. Jlo, following her high-stakes meeting, reportedly took to rehearsals with renewed determination, though her exhaustion was still evident. Insiders said she moved with precision and intensity, commanding the attention of everyone on set. Reportedly, she stopped mid-rehearsal to address her team, saying, "We cannot let chaos define us. We define ourselves." Sources described her tone as both inspiring and intimidating, with emotions running high as she balanced frustration, fatigue, and steely resolve. Fans watching snippets online were captivated, posting comments like, "Jlo is unstoppable," and "She's taking back control," and "We're here for it." The combination of personal empowerment and public display of strength added another layer to the unfolding drama. Austin and Jacob's saga continued as insiders revealed a behind-the-scenes meeting later that afternoon. Sources claimed that the two actors, forced by mutual acquaintances to reconcile in private, finally spoke openly about the awkwardness and tension that had plagued them. According to witnesses, the conversation was filled with honesty, subtle humor, and lingering resentment. One insider reported that Jacob admitted, "I felt blindsided by some of the stories," to which Austin responded, "Me too, but maybe it's time to move past it." The dialogue, though private, was allegedly captured by an accidental social media leak, sending fans into a frenzy analyzing body language, word choice, and what it might mean for their careers and personal reputations. The event became a focal point for discussion, memes, and debates online, amplifying the overall narrative of Hollywood chaos. As evening approached, Hollywood insiders claimed that all four major players, Timothee, Jlo, Austin, and Jacob, were unknowingly on intersecting paths. Timothee's video post had caused a stir that reached Jlo's team, prompting her to respond indirectly through carefully timed social media updates. Austin and Jacob, meanwhile, were rumored to have attended overlapping events where they witnessed subtle nods, glances, and signals that may have been interpreted as either alliances or warnings. Sources described the atmosphere as electric with tension, a moment when personal ambitions, emotional turmoil, and strategic moves collided in ways that could define careers and reputations for months. Fans across the world were glued to every post, comment, and leaked image, analyzing every subtle signal, every glance, and every cryptic message. The climax of the drama reportedly occurred late in the evening. Insiders claim that Timothee arranged a surprise livestream to directly address fans about the weeks of tension, leaks, and rumors. During the broadcast, he allegedly spoke with raw emotion, referencing betrayal, industry manipulation, and the struggles of maintaining authenticity in Hollywood. Jlo, reportedly watching from her villa, was moved by his honesty, with friends saying she nodded in agreement at multiple points. Simultaneously, Austin and Jacob reportedly monitored social media updates from a distance, each reacting privately to Timothee's statements and reassessing their own strategies. The simultaneous convergence of public confession, private reflection, and celebrity scrutiny created a moment that insiders described as historically dramatic for modern Hollywood, with fans around the globe erupting in discussion, speculation, and analysis. By the end of the night, sources claimed that some resolutions had begun to emerge. Timothee was reportedly calmer, having released his statement and confronted the manipulative forces behind the scenes. Jlo had asserted control over her team and regained a sense of authority and clarity. Austin and Jacob, while still tense, had taken initial steps toward understanding and reconciling with each other. Insiders described the scene as a temporary calm after a storm, though the potential for future drama remained, leaving fans on edge and hungry for the next development. Hollywood watchers described the unfolding saga as a masterclass in tension, emotion, and celebrity strategy, with twists, betrayals, and revelations that kept everyone talking long after the events concluded. The day ended with an almost cinematic image, Timothee on a balcony, gazing out at the city with quiet determination, Jlo in her rehearsal space, standing tall and composed, and Austin and Jacob, separately reflecting on their private confrontation. Sources claim that each moment, though private, was imbued with emotion, strategy, and unspoken understanding that Hollywood was never going to be the same for any of them. Fans continued to speculate, social media buzzed, and the City of Angels remained abuzz with tension, drama, and anticipation for what would come next. Hollywood insiders described it as a convergence of ambition, betrayal, and resilience, with lessons, victories, and heartbreak all intertwined, a saga that had captivated the world and left everyone waiting for the next explosive chapter. And there you have it. Hollywood fans, a whirlwind of chaos, tension, and jaw-dropping drama that has left Timothée Chalamet, Jlo, Austin Butler, and Jacob Elordi at the center of a story no one could have predicted. Emotions ran high, secrets were revealed, and alliances were tested, but what does it all mean for the future of these stars? Will Timothee finally find peace and reclaim control over his narrative, or will more leaks and betrayals shake him again? Can Jlo maintain her strength and composure while navigating the pressures of fame, family, and a relentless industry? And what will become of Austin and Jacob? Will their awkward confrontation turn into a lasting feud, or could it surprisingly lead to collaboration and understanding? The answers remain uncertain, and the suspense is far from over. We want to hear from you, the fans, because your theories, opinions, and reactions are part of what makes this story so alive. Tell us what you think really happened behind the scenes, who you believe was pulling the strings, and which revelation shocked you the most. Your voice matters, and your guesses might be closer to the truth than you think. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're as stunned as we are, subscribe to stay updated on every twist and turn of Hollywood's most dramatic week yet, and make sure to comment below with your predictions for what happens next. This is one saga where every glance, every whisper, and every leaked moment could change everything, and we'll be right here breaking it all down for you, minute by minute. So buckle up, stay tuned, and get ready, because in Hollywood, the drama is never truly over.